There's something deeply unsettling when the quiet fabric of someone's life is torn apart by an act of cruelty. In a world where violence often goes unchecked, how far would you go to seek justice? Today, we follow a man whose peaceful existence is shattered by a devastating loss, and how this leads him down a path that questions his very moral core. We meet Avery, a man living a simple, quiet life in a small town. His days are filled with routine and tranquility, and though he's a solitary figure, he's not lonely. Avery finds comfort in the company of his old, loyal dog, a source of companionship and emotional support. For him, this dog is more than a pet, it's his last connection to a life that was once filled with love and family. Avery's wife has passed, leaving a gaping hole in his heart. The dog fills that void, offering him a reason to keep going each day. Avery is an unassuming man, gentle in nature. His life might seem uneventful to others, but to him, it's enough. The peaceful days spent fishing, the quiet walks, the simplicity of his routine, all of this provides a certain balance. But as we soon find out, even the calmest waters can be disrupted by a single act of cruelty. One afternoon, Avery takes his dog to his favorite fishing spot by the lake. It's a serene place, where the silence is only interrupted by the occasional rustle of leaves or the soft splash of water. He casts his line, his loyal companion sitting by his side, enjoying the quiet. But this peace doesn't last. 3 boys approach Avery, full of arrogance and recklessness. There's an unsettling energy about them. They're not there to fish. They're not there to enjoy the quiet. They're looking for trouble. The boys, led by Danny, taunt Avery, trying to provoke him. But Avery, a man who's seen the world and knows better, ignores them. He tries to remain calm, but something about the boys feels dangerous. And then, in an instant, everything changes. Danny, with a cruel smirk, raises a gun and points it at Avery's dog. Before Avery can react, a shot rings out. The dog falls, lifeless. Avery is stunned, frozen in disbelief. This wasn't just an act of violence, it was senseless, heartless. The boys laugh as they walk away, leaving Avery alone with the body of his only companion. In this moment, Avery's world collapses. The one being that connected him to his past, the last thread tying him to his wife, is gone. And it wasn't just taken, it was stolen, ripped away in an act of cruelty that defies any logic. For Avery, it's not just about losing a pet. It's about losing a part of himself. Grief turns to anger. Avery can't simply let this go. He can't just move on. He wants justice. But where does he start? The boys are gone, and Avery is left to pick up the pieces. The old man buries his dog, the pain of loss weighing heavily on his heart. But as he stands over the grave, he makes a quiet promise to himself: he will get justice. Not revenge, justice. He's not a man who believes in violence. But he does believe in doing what's right. So, Avery begins his search. He doesn't want much. An apology, some acknowledgement of the wrong that's been done to him. That's all he asks for. But as we'll see, what he seeks will be harder to find than he expects. Avery starts with the boys' families. Surely, their parents will understand. Surely, they'll make their sons apologize, and this will all be over. But when Avery knocks on the first door, he's met with something far worse than indifference. Danny's father, a wealthy and influential man, refuses to listen. To him, Avery is nothing more than an old man wasting his time. He dismisses the incident as a childish prank, refusing to hold his son accountable. Avery is stunned. How can a father excuse such cruelty? How can he allow his son to get away with something so heartless? But Avery doesn't give up. He approaches the other boys' families, hoping for a different response. But time and time again, he's met with the same arrogance, the same refusal to take responsibility. These families are untouchable, protected by their wealth and power. As Avery's quest for justice continues, the tension between him and the boys' families begins to escalate. Avery, once a quiet, unassuming man, starts to push back. He's no longer willing to be dismissed. He demands accountability, but the more he pushes, the more dangerous the situation becomes. The boys, emboldened by their parents' protection, continue to mock Avery. They see him as a weak old man, someone they can torment without consequences. But what they don't realize is that Avery's strength doesn't come from physical power, it comes from his determination, from his sense of right and wrong. And as we'll see, that strength is far more dangerous than any threat they could make. Throughout his search for justice, Avery is faced with a moral dilemma. How far is he willing to go to right this wrong? He doesn't want violence. He doesn't want revenge. But as the situation grows more intense, as the boys' mockery becomes more brazen, Avery begins to question his own resolve. Is he still seeking justice, or has his quest become something darker? This inner conflict is at the heart of Avery's journey. He's a man who's lived his life with a strong moral compass, but now, that compass is being tested. The world around him has shown him nothing but cruelty and indifference. The families refuse to apologize, and the boys continue to torment him. Is it possible to stay on the right path when everything is pushing you towards revenge? Avery's internal struggle is what makes this story so compelling. He's not a violent man. He doesn't want to hurt anyone. But how do you fight back against a system that seems designed to protect the guilty? Without revealing the outcome, it's safe to say that Avery's search for justice comes to a head in a tense confrontation. The boys and their families have underestimated him, and now, they're about to see the consequences of their actions. Avery may be one man, but his sense of justice is far stronger than they anticipated. The final moments of this story are filled with suspense, as Avery is forced to make a choice. Will he stick to his principles, or will he give in to the darkness that has been pulling at him throughout his journey? It's a decision that will define not only the outcome of this conflict, but who Avery is as a person. As the story reaches its conclusion, we're left with a powerful reflection on the cost of justice. For Avery, this journey has taken him to the edge of his moral beliefs. He started out seeking nothing more than an apology, but what he found was a world that refused to acknowledge its own cruelty. And in that world, Avery had to find his own way of dealing with the pain. In the end, justice isn't always about winning or losing. It's about standing up for what's right, even when the world tells you to sit down. Avery's journey is a testament to the power of one person's determination, and the lengths they'll go to when pushed to the brink. What makes Avery's story so compelling is that it's not about revenge in the traditional sense. Yes, he's angry. Yes, he's hurt. But what drives him is a sense of righteousness, a belief that justice should be served. It's this belief that keeps him going, even when the odds are stacked against him. But at the same time, we're left to question, at what point does the pursuit of justice become something darker? Avery never wanted to hurt anyone. He never wanted violence. But the world he lives in, with its corrupt systems and privileged families, forced his hand. And in the end, we're left wondering whether Avery's quest for justice came at too high a cost. Now that we've walked through this emotional journey, we'd love to hear your thoughts. What would you have done in Avery's position? Do you think his actions were justified, or did he go too far? Let us know in the comments below. And if you're intrigued by stories that explore justice, morality, and deep personal conflict, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more. Join us at Plot Pioneer for our next deep dive into another gripping tale. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.